Something I saw really fascinating for people on Twitter was from a guy. This is John Matzner. I'll post to him in the show notes, but he talked about how he helped grow a service business revenue by 500% in about a year. And there were several different things. It wasn't just this, but one of the processes that he implemented was what he called the Smokey the Bear process. And Smokey the Bear has 3 levels of, danger zones.
Oh, fire
danger.
Yeah.
There's red, yellow, green. Red is like, okay, you can't have a fire. Yellow is, heightened risk. And then green is like, it's good to go. You can have a fire that's controlled safely. But he implemented it for his leads. And so many contractors don't really have a qualified lead definition for their company. Maybe they have it in their head, but really they're just taking any work they can get, and they're so focused on revenue. We've talked about this so much at the podcast, how if it's a sale, it's a sale. And there's some danger with that, but then there's also some truth to it. And so, yeah, like when you're in the green zone, well, I need to back up a little bit. See if I can explain this right. He has 3 definitions of a qualified lead based upon where they're at in their company. And he uses that process of having a red, yellow, green system. So yellow is their consistent qualified lead. And it's someone who has a project that's at least $1,000, right? So we're going to come out and replace an electric panel. It's going to be over $1,000. They need it. They want what we sell. They live within 60 minutes of our warehouse, and they're actively interested in our pricing or in our services, not just shopping prices, right? That's their standard definition of a qualified lead. But that changes based upon where the state of their company is. If they're extremely busy, then they go to red, and a qualified lead for them is a project of $5,000 or more. They don't accept anything that's less than that because it's a waste of time. We don't need to be doing $100 jobs or $1,000 jobs whenever we're busy and people are working overtime. We need jobs that are much higher value, and they need to be within 30 minutes of our warehouse, not an hour, because we're so busy. But then there's times when it gets really slow, like maybe during the holidays. Well, we go to the green level where we're completely open. It's a $100 job, bring it on. It's 90 minutes away, bring it on. Because we're paying our guys regardless. We need to keep them busy somehow, right? So I thought that was a really interesting process to go through inside of your company, is understand what those zones are for you of, hey, when we're really busy, when we're slammed, when we're low on capacity, whenever we have infinite capacity, or not infinite, but our capacity is wide open because it's really a slow season, whenever we're just at table stakes. Understanding what those zones are for you, but then also having a different definition of what a qualified opportunity is or a qualified lead, so that you can have the right kind of work in place for your business. And then you can communicate to your team, hey guys, we're in a red zone. So we're not accepting any jobs. You tell your office staff, your employees that are on the jobs, and then, no, hey, we're yellow zone this week. Or no, hey, it's wide open, guys, green zone. Take on anything. Start doing some outbound calls for business.
I think that's brilliant. Probably most of our listeners do that, as you said, in their head. But to define them, write them out, and then capture it by saying red, yellow, or green is brilliant.
Yeah.
Done with intent rather than just inertia.
Exactly. And I think that it really helps align the team. Like if we know what zone we're in, we know what our focus is. And I would think, even as an employee, if I hear the management say, hey, we're in a red zone, I kind of feel like recognized, like I'm working my ass off, and the manager recognizes it isn't going to give me this crappy job that I'm not going to get paid on that well. But they're saying, no, like you guys are working really hard. We're slammed right now. And right. It allows you to also do some other things for your employees during that time. Hey, when we're in a red zone, we also, cater breakfast, or I don't know, we open it up and we pay a little bit extra or something like that. We have a bonus structure during the red zone, a lot of different things that you can do. So really interesting.